Hey guys, it's Horror Junkies of Utah, and today we are coming at you to talk about the most extreme, graphic, scary, frightening horror movie we've ever seen. The one that really put us on edge and, we're like antsy about, I guess. Like, would I watch that again, or why did I watch that? So we're going to first start off with our number one picks of what that film was, and I'm going to throw it over these two. Eddie, you go first.
So for me, about 2 years ago, I started going more deeper down the rabbit hole, going into independent horror films and stuff, and I came upon Toe Tag Pictures. They do very extreme horror movies.
Okay, like extreme in the gore realm,
gore
realm,
pushing the gore realm, the psychological, pretty much everything. I mean, they really push the envelope on everything. So it's a movie called August Underground. It's pretty much shot just like a snuff film. Very crappy VHS camera, very old school feel to it. And Fred Vogel, the guy that actually owns Toe Tag, he actually did this whole movie for I think it was like under $11,000. And he shot it all in his house and in his basement. Did all the special effects and everything. I mean, this movie is a very intense movie because it's pretty much...
Well, give us the premise of it. Like, what is this?
The premise of the movie
August Underground.
The premise of the movie is pretty much you're following through the eyes of the killers.
Okay.
So you're seeing from their viewpoints of killing people, what excites them about killing people.
So it's kind of like that Henry action film that's out where it's like first person perspective, but in the horror realm and very low budget.
Yeah, and very low budget. And then they have like some parts where it isn't from their view. They actually have an actual scene set up.
Okay.
Some on the kill scenes, but I mean, for what he did with the money he had, the resources he had, he did an amazing job on this movie. And what he actually did to promote the movie was he actually took VHS copies of his movie and was just planting them all around the country. And people were picking up this movie and put it in their VCR.
And then taking it to the police department.
Yeah, and then taking the police station because
I'm pretty sure it was a very raw edit, like no credits.
Yeah, and I mean, it gained attention because, I mean, people are always kind of intrigued by snuff films. So
very
for me, that movie did definitely push the envelope for me.
With Toe Tag Pictures, do they have any other movies?
Yeah, they have actually, I think, 7 right now. They have August Underground, then the 2 sequels to August Underground. Then they have Maskhead. They have Red Sin Tower. I mean, they got some really great movies.
They're not the ones that did the American Guinea Pig series, are
No,
they?
they're Unearthed films that did American Guinea Pig.
But same realm.
Same realm.
Gotcha. Tracy?
So we're just kind of talking like nitty gritty, like really can't...
Well, just anything that like just really pushed the envelope for you. Like really just like terrified you or really just scared you.
Well, then I've got a handful of like...
Then you got a handful.
I've got a handful. So probably the first would be the Human Centipede.
So is that your number one? Because we're talking about our number one.
We're talking about number one, right now.
Human Centipede?
That really like... I couldn't even finish it. I didn't even finish the movie. Once it got to the part of all of the pus and stuff and the infection coming out of her mouth, I turned it off. I couldn't do it. I could not watch that. That made me sick. And then,
but was it just the fact of like pus infection and stuff right on her face?
Yeah, and then the whole
premise
of what
assholes?
is going on. I'm like, I can't even do this. And then I watched just the preview for American Guinea Pig. I didn't even watch the movie, just the preview for it, and it made me sick. I could not. I can't handle that kind of stuff.
I understand because I watched the movie with Andy and Craig. And
I watched the trailer and it made me sick. So I had to turn it off.
That would have been one of my choices, American Guinea Pig. But I have another one because it's so much more real to me. American Guinea Pig's real in the raw sense of, like, I guess there's psychos out there that do snuff films, and that's what they presented to you. But mine is Contracted.
I knew you were going to say that.
I hate viruses in the first place. All that stuff is so gross. And you literally watch this girl go out on and it happens to all of us. You know, you can have a drunken night, sleep with some random person. I mean, it's a real scenario, and then the next morning you're like, who did I sleep with? And then after that, she's getting sick. And she goes to her doctor, and then she's getting more sick and more. And eventually her fucking fingernails are falling off.
Yeah, all sorts of crap.
It's you watch the progression of this virus from beginning to end, and it's just so bad.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
I'm not gonna give it away, but the scene that just does it for me is
I know which one.
they try and make it romantic at the end. And it is just so gross, and I feel so bad for that other character that I'm just like,
oh yeah.
And when the maggots scene, I'm like, oh my god, I want to throw up. Have you seen it?
I'm not.
You
so
need
I guess
to
I
watch
need to.
It's not like American Guinea Pig, where it's very graphic in nature with like the violence towards people is what got me with that movie. I'm like, oh my god. But it is very much so horrifying in just the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's on Netflix, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, watch it, check it out. You guys check it out too. If
It's
you
an
make it all
awesome
into it.
take on the whole virus.
It is, and I think everyone will get grossed out.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty gross. But so, in that, would you guys watch these films again? Obviously, you couldn't even
I
make
couldn't
it
even make it through that, so no. I could barely. I'm not really into that type of
realm
horror.
of horror.
That
the
realm of horror.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like something that super scared me, where like it really got under my skin, was probably The Conjuring and The Exorcist. Those movies were terrifying for me.
And you could watch those again.
I could watch those again.
So you do well with like horror in the realm of like superstition, supernatural.
Not really though. Those are the ones that scare me.
They scare you,
But I
you
could
can
watch
finish them.
Yeah.
But when
You
it
can
comes to
finish 'em.
straight raw fucking,
Yeah, gritty, yucky stuff.
you
No,
don't like it.
I can't do it.
What about you, Eddie? Could you watch?
I definitely could because I actually bought the movie.
He's like,
the sequels.
he's like, and I've watched it like 6 times. Fucking toe tag pictures. Me with Contracted, I could watch it again, but it never gets less.
Oh yeah, it's always
unsettling.
still you
It's
do.
always just bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
So why do you
It's not
think
bad.
that directors keep wanting to make these movies? Like,
what I think, well, for me, when you put it down, it's just like music as well, or any form of art in this realm. Obviously, not in drama and pop rock, but you know, it's like Marilyn Manson pushes the envelope with shock rock, and then someone else has to go beyond him. I think it's in movies as well. When you narrow it down to like the nitty gritty type stuff, not the horrific stuff where it's like jump scares and stuff, but like this nitty gritty.
I think that they
Horror
want to
category.
cause controversy.
I do,
So
yeah.
that's
the
why
controversy
they do it.
always sells.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, eventually you can get to some point in the future where they're gonna actually sell videos of people getting really murdered.
well, they do. They're called snuff films.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll become like almost mainstream.
Debatable.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look at society is just like.
I mean, society. I mean, take for example the Purge. I mean,
You know, the Purge movie is fictional, but I could see something like that in the future because you know you go back in time and you look at Roman times.
oh yeah, Roman times.
And
It
the
was like
Colosseum and watching people get murdered,
eaten by tigers and
entertainment,
all
yeah.
stuff.
and now you come. Now we're like, we got over that. We're like, that's not ethical. But now we're into like UFC fighting and stuff. People are getting the shit kicked out.
Yeah,
of them.
people are like, getting their ass beat, bloodied up.
So
and
when
they're
is it
like,
just
"Oh,
going to
yeah."
come to the point that we do like UFC Extreme?
Or
You
back
sign
to
this.
gladiator days.
Yeah, it might
I
be
mean, it
there.
might happen. Or kind of like with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Running Man.
True.
You know?
True. But I think as like a collective in the film industry, I always think the controversial films will be there, like we've been talking about.
Oh yeah.
But I still think they're always going to be more underground because the majority of society is very, very unsettled with stuff like that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
like
yeah.
they get unsettled about films like Dawn of the Dead or The Conjuring or
Yeah.
Last House on the
they're
Left.
like,
you
oh
know?
my god!
I
Oh!
spit on your grave. Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. Like the rape revenge films in
Yeah.
themselves that are more mainstream get the general film goer very unsettled. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you dig deeper for like us, and it's like since we're so horror, we dig deeper and then we see this shit, we're like, what the fuck? Like that's
Yeah.
our limits. Like everyone hits their limits.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll go away, and I do think they'll go deeper. But how deep can you really go to where it goes from film to crime?
Yeah.
You know, there's
Oh, yeah.
just,
You never
and
know.
I think that realm exists in the criminal world. With
I think it does,
snuff
too.
films. Now that you've watched our video on the most extreme graphic horror movies that affected us, let us know in the comments below what your most extreme graphic horror movie that affected you was. Or if you've seen one of the ones we're talking about, let us know what you thought about it. We are the Horror Junkies of Utah. I am Marcus.
I'm Eddie.
I'm Tracy.
And we want you guys to have a spooktacular, scary, freaky, awesome night. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Like this video, subscribe, and share for the internet world out there. You guys have a great night.
See ya.
See you guys.
See you later.